people still spend money to see me. It's amazing. Thank God most of all for thank Him most of all for allowing me to exist the way I am, because I'm not perfect, and God knows I'm not perfect, but He's working on me though, and He's working on all of us. Hopefully one day all of us get it all together. But I've learned something about trying to be a better man, that you're not going to be perfect. I don't care how hard you try. My strong suggestion to everybody is to just get over there next to God just like you are, with all your problems, all your hang-ups, everything you hooked on, everything you dealing with, all the lies, the drugs, the alcohol, whatever it is. Just go on over there just like you are, because that's all I did. I quit trying to fix myself up, man. I just went over there and stood next to God just like I was. And I am a living witness that God will accept you just how you are and bless you anyway if you just come on over there. I want all of y'all to think about that. I ain't nobody that you can follow, make it to heaven or nothing like that. I do a lot of wrong in my life, but I try to share with people on the radio show to just think about God. I've been telling jokes 22 years. For me to be selling out, for me to still be selling out, it's a blessing to me. You know, that He let me have this, man, because I ain't perfect. He don't have to keep blessing me like this, but God will bless you the same way though. See, it ain't just me, man. He's available to everybody. You know, sometimes when I'm talking about God, people want to judge you and tell you what they just saw you doing wrong. Well, okay. You're probably going to see me do some more wrong and hear me say some more stuff that don't sound like Him. But that don't mean He don't love me. And that don't mean that you don't love Him. Just keep on looking to God. God will make your dreams come true. I have no business being in this position today. I'm in this position because He's just merciful, man. Because He just gonna cut you some slack if He see you trying halfway. Ask everybody, man. Just talk to God every day. Get your life on track, man. And if you can count the times you done talked to God that day, you ain't talked to Him enough. Just holler at Him about everything. Every decision you make, talk to God. God will give you blessings that you won't even have room enough to receive. $4 a gallon won't matter to you no more.
So, ideas. The seminar is going to be loaded with ideas. I want you to take good notes. But here's what else I hope you'll find here today, and that is inspiration. And who knows the mystery of inspiration? Why some people are inspired and some are not? You were inspired to get here. Some were not. Who knows the mystery of that? I don't know. How come you made it? The rest of them didn't make it. We don't know what that mystery is. Some people turned it down. Some people said it costs too much. Some people said it's going to take too much time. Some people are too busy, right? A lot of different excuses why some are inspired to take advantage of something that comes to town. Others pass it up. We don't know the mystery to that. Here's what I call it: mysteries of the mind. And I just leave it at that. Some things I don't try to figure out. I take the simple approach now. Right? Some people do and some people don't. I mean, that's about as profound as my philosophy is. Some buy and some don't buy. Some go for it and some don't. Some change and some don't. And if you've been around for a while, you can usually work out the numbers, right? Out of 10, 3 do, 7 don't. Whatever business you're involved in, pretty soon you got this ratio going. The ones that do, the ones that don't. You say, well, why don't the ones that don't, how come they don't? We don't know. I just leave it as a mystery. I used to try to understand all that. I just take the simple approach now. The guy says, this happens to me, this happens to me, this goes wrong for me, and all this stuff goes wrong for me. How come all this stuff happens to me? I say, I don't know, beats me. The best I've been able to figure out is those kind of things always happen to people like you. I mean, right? That's the best I got. I don't know. I'm an amateur on this stuff. What do I know? So, just take the simple approach, right? That's how it is. Who knows? Interesting story says the day the Christian church was started. Now, I'm an amateur on the Bible, but best account I can remember, the day the Christian church was started, a magnificent sermon was preached. Great presentation. And if you're a student at all of good communication, it was one of the classic presentations of all times. The sermon, first day Christian church was started. And it said this sermon, this presentation was given to a multitude, meaning a lot of people. But it was interesting, as the account gives us the record, it says when the sermon was finished, there was a variety of reaction to the same sermon. Isn't that fascinating? I find it fascinating. It said some that heard this presentation were perplexed. And I read the presentation, it sounded pretty straightforward to me. I said, why would somebody be perplexed with a good, sincere, straightforward presentation? Best answer I've got. They are the perplexed. I mean, what other explanation is there? It doesn't matter who's preaching. Right? It said some that heard this presentation mocked and laughed, made fun of the presentation. I thought, hey, this looks pretty sincere to me. If you give a sincere, honest presentation, why would somebody mock and laugh? Easy explanation. They are the mockers and the laughers. What else would you expect them to do? Right? I used to try to straighten all that out. Say, well, they shouldn't do that. I don't do that anymore. I've got peace of mind now. I can sleep like a baby, not try to straighten all this stuff out. I used to be so naive. I used to say, well, liars shouldn't lie. See, how naive can you be? Of course they're supposed to lie. That's why we call them liars. They lie. They lie. So I don't straighten this stuff out anymore. Anyway, it said some that heard this magnificent presentation didn't know what was going on. And they're usually easy to spot. They're usually saying, what's going on, right? I mean, they don't know what's going on. But interesting, right? A variety of reaction to the same sincere, honest presentation. Now, it also says, in wrapping it up, some that heard the presentation believed. And I think that's who the speaker was looking for, the believers. Interesting.
They think that success is supposed to happen like that. It was very difficult for me to figure out where my boundaries were because I'd grown up poor and didn't have anything. And now that I know better, I know I don't have to do that again. It's one of the most powerful lessons any of us can ever know. I think in order to actually do the stuff, yes, money is important. But I also think the thing that I hold the dearest, and the reason why the noise about running for president moved me so humbly and deeply, is because it means that you have somewhere in the work gained the people's trust. Yes, you have. And there is nothing more important to me than having the trust of the people and the audience. And I mean, I recognize that it is the audience who came every day and watched, from all over the world that actually, yes, that helped me to be who I am. So I think the renown, the standing, the ability to be trusted and to say something, but also listen, don't play the billionaire thing small. Don't play the be small. Yeah. It's a very big deal because it allows you to, it allows you to actually do the work. So instead of saying, gee, I would like to help so many people, or you should go out and help so many people, you can actually use that for yourself. And I am now at this stage of my career thinking about how to do that more poignantly and fruitfully. Yeah. I'm now looking for ways that I can do that to create a level of sustainability within our community.
So that's a beautiful question, and I love parenting. One of the key things in my growth list is be as great a parent as I can be, because I think that's one of the biggest responsibilities that being human, the whole act of being human gives us, right? To raise another like baby you and not that kid up. So too much, right? So one of the key things, I remember talking to a parental psychologist called Shelley Lefko, and I asked the one, Shelley, what is the greatest gift a parent could give a child? And Shelley said this. She said, the greatest thing you can do for your children is to be acutely aware that they form their beliefs because of you. So make sure that you are taking absolute care to give them the right beliefs. Now this is so important. Kids are little meaning-making machines. It's how the human brain has evolved to work. We create meaning about the world. Now if you think about, say, American parenting, right? Let's say Billy, your kid is sitting at a table and he drops his fork and you go, Billy, don't drop that fork. And 2 minutes later, Billy drops his spoon and now you're like, Billy, I told you not to drop that. And now you drop a spoon, go stand in that corner. So you take Billy off the chair, you go put him in the corner. And if you're parents, I've done that. I know you guys have done that as well. Now I thought that was fine. I'm not slapping the kid. Right. I'm just making him stand in the corner so he learns to hold his frickin' cutlery. So Shelley said, the problem with that is this. We're not paying attention to Billy's meaning-making machine. It's that machine in the child's head that's creating meaning. What if this is what is going on in Billy's head? He accidentally dropped his fork. And he was surprised that his mom, questioned him. He's a kid, his hands, he's still learning to use his hands. And so he wanted to find out, was his mom really angry with him? Is mom really angry? What if I drop my spoon? I just want to see what happens. That's how kids understand the world. They experiment. So he drops his spoon. Now mom sends him to a corner. He doesn't get to finish his meal, which he was enjoying. Now think about, Shelley says, what's going on in Billy's head. The meaning-making machine is turning. He's going, Mom doesn't trust me. Mom is angry at me. Mom sends me to a corner because she doesn't respect me. Mom doesn't love me. Does she love me? Why am I in a corner? Why? I speak now. My voice is not important. And these things become part of our identity. And these things, when they repeat, is what creates adults that can be so broken. All of us grow up with these holes within ourselves. We feel not loved enough. We feel not important enough. We feel that we don't matter. All of us grow up. I had these issues as a teenager. And it's because our style of parenting doesn't take care of the meaning-making machine in a child's brain. So how do you do that? Well, you be acutely aware of how a child's brain works. So with my son, let me give you an example of the opposite, right? I was driving my car with my son 2 weeks ago, and he asked me a question. I can't remember what it was, but it was something about science. He's a science junkie. And as he asked me the question, the phone rang, and I checked it, and it was my CFO, and I knew it was an important call, so I took the call. And 2 minutes into the call, I realized I'd ignored my son. Now, what does that tell him? It occurred to me that his meaning-making machine might go off and go, oh, Dad's work is more important than me. I'm not important. Dad's CFO is more important. So I paused the call and I said, Hayden, I am so sorry. Your question is so important to me. You're the most important person in my life. I just need to finish this call because it's only going to be 2 minutes and I'm guessing it's something urgent, and then I'm going to give you full attention. Those simple statements tweak his meaning-making machine and gives him a sense of importance, gives him a sense of understanding that he is truly important. So as parents, you want to be careful of that. Now, if you do that, your kid is growing up with healthy beliefs which are empowering, beliefs of confidence, beliefs that say, I matter. And when children have that, they are less immune to the rules of the culturescape. They are less immune to a religious leader who might say, you're a sinner because you ate the wrong type of meat, or because you didn't follow some arbitrary bullshit rule written 2,000 years ago. They are able to use their own, they get a positive meaning-making machine, and they are better able to use that sense of power and confidence to navigate the world without falling for other people's boat.
What is it that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose? Because once you find that, it puts you in your power place. See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay. And so I just want to, for a moment, I want us to be okay talking about fear. Because when we talk about it, we can disseminate it, we can minimize it into the nothingness that it always was.
At the end of the day, the only thing that you really control is yourself. At the end of the day, the only thing that you can hope for is to be going after something that has meaning, something that has purpose. So what is it that you really want?
I need you to open up your ears. Open up your ears, because the you from the future is telling you thank you.
That is when you need to develop that unshakable self-confidence, that believe that you can do it. And confidence is not the same as arrogance. You see, arrogance is thinking that you're above everybody else. Confidence is knowing that no one is above you. Do you feel confident enough in your own abilities that you can do what it takes? Are you willing to bet on yourself? Not just words, but action.
Well, I think the one thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being fucking lazy and just doing it. Yeah. That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not going to feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be a fat.
In other words, most people don't give themselves enough credit all the time. They're very aware of these 20% things and not aware of the 80, right? And that's why the dosage is so important too. You've nailed it. It should be 80-20, right? Because people get addicted to this. I'm not good at this. People don't like this about me. I don't feel good. Instead of focusing on the 80 and stacking up, wow, I did eat what I said I was going to today. I did get up when I said I was going to. I made the amount of phone calls. I treated people in such a way I promised myself. It's not just doing those things. It's rewarding it. It's being aware of it and stacking that up.
And this is the most important thing. I want you to be able to create meaningful, purposeful, fulfilling lives for yourselves and learn how to use that to make an impact and a difference in the lives of others. That will be true success.